Morning. Okay, happy Tuesday. I'll get started in a moment, just setting up the camera. Okay, so if you'd like to sit, please, with your knees wide, sit on your heels. So simple Mandragasana, big toes touching, sitting on the heels. Let the hands rest on the knees as you sit up tall through the crown of the head. Let your eyes close gently. Lightly touching the tongue, the tip of the tongue against the upper palate, behind the upper ridge of the teeth. Let your jaw relax, relax the corners of your lips. Very gently lengthen the base of the skull, slightly upwards. Lengthen your tailbone downwards. So in the Taoist tradition, they look to extend the crown of the head all the way to Polaris, the North Star, as the Earth rotates on the axis of the Northern Star. So as it has effect on the Earth, it also has an effect on us. So you can imagine you're connecting the base of your skull all the way up to the North Star. Similarly, you're connecting your tailbone like a tail, literally a tail, all the way down through the Earth's core, or to the Earth's core rather. So project your awareness up and down. Now's the time, if you like, to bring in the invitation of any of your teachers, the higher consciousnesses, to connect with yours in the hope of helping awaken humankind and possibly heal the earth at the same time. Drawing in any loved ones, the God Self, aligning with your consciousness. Very gently with your right or left hand, just lightly tapping the forehead, eyebrow center. And then to the crown. And then the back of the skull directly opposite the eyebrow center. So stimulate these regions, help open them, make them more sensitive to bring your attention there. Back to the eyebrow center. Then we're going to bring the palms together, rub them. Put some heat between your hands. Now, as you pad your hands over your eyes, open and close the eyelids as you pad the hands. Gentle way to open the eyes, get used to being open again. Then curling your fingers as you go over the top of the head. We're just doing the head marmos for now. Over the top to the neck. Good. Then thumb in the fist, knuckle the thumb, circle at the temples. Then take your thumb to your temples. You're going to use the index finger knuckle across the eyebrows. So thumb is on the side of the head, index finger knuckle across the eyebrow. Then go across the eyelid. And then go under the eye. So I'm moving from the inside to the outside of the eye. Good. Then use your thumb and your fist again. And you're going to circle with the thumb knuckle, or the thumb knuckle, either side of the bridge of the nose, upper sinus. Come down a little wider, lower sinus. And 2 fingers straight, the back of the ear, rubbing the bony protrusion at the bottom of the ear. Then you're going to take your thumbs like you're rubbing 2 coins together, top of the ear. Work your way down the ear. Then you're pulling on the earlobe. And we're going to work pulling in and down with your fingers on the throat. In and down. Good, then we're going to tap the thymus gland. So you just tap, tap, tap. Just above the heart. Stimulating the T cells, the lymphocytes. And good, come and stand up. So now we'll continue with the tapping. And I want to work on a couple other things, so we'll leave out the rest of the morning massage. So we'll start with the loose fist at the sacrum. And work into the buttocks. And you're going to come into the back of the legs. So now I'm tapping at the front of the knuckles. It's a little bit easier. Right into the belly of the hamstrings. So back to the knees. And then into the belly of the calf. Doing both legs is challenging. You can always go do one leg at a time. Come back into the back of the knee. So work your way back up into the back of the leg. To the buttocks. Sacrum. When we go to the sacrum, we're generally the back of the fist. Back of the hip. Come up into the kidneys. Pause, just give the arm a bit of a relax. Now we're going to go down the arms. So you're going to start on, ladies on the left side, or right side, gents on the left side. So with your, again, with your loose fist right at the top of the shoulder. And we're going to work down the arm. So find the belly of the upper arm, so right in the middle, and then just above the elbow, and then on the elbow, and center of the forearm, right on top of the wrist. Work your way to the palms, the middle of the palm, underside of the wrist, center of the forearm, elbow, inner elbow, very base of the bicep, center of the bicep, right back up to the neck, or the trapezius rather, top of the shoulder. And relax. Now just for a moment, just compare that one arm to the other. See what you notice. Probably a little lighter, a little difference. Then we'll do the other side, so lean the head to the side, top of the shoulder, right into the trapezius. Feel a sensitive spot, stay a little while there. And we work to the very top of the upper arm on the back side of the arm. Right into the belly of the tricep. A little closer, just above the elbow. Then on the elbow, be a little gentle on the joints. Right into the center of the forearm. Keeping the wrist loose. Top of the wrist. Center of the palm. Underside of the wrist. Center of the forearm. Inner elbow. Root of the bicep, the insertion point of the bicep, right at the base of the bicep. And then a little higher up, belly of the bicep. And we're going to go up with the arm, come into the armpit. And then work your way down, follow like the seam of the t-shirt towards the top of the ilium, top of the hip. So I'm just going down one direction. And relax, and we take the other arm up, armpit. Down to the top of the hip. Good. Now, we just finish up on the front side. So start on the liver, right side. On the liver, right side, tapping. So the liver is quite large. It moves all the way across, even slightly beyond the navel. So, and then back around. And you can switch hands if you want. We'll do the spleen, stomach on the left side. Pancreas comes across, again, beyond the navel towards the right. And then we're going to both fists right down near where the hip and the belly meet on the right side. So it's the ascending colon. You're going to work your way up the ascending colon. You're going to work your way across the transverse colon. So above the navel, below the ribs slightly. And then you work your way down the descending colon on the left side. And we'll do that 3 times. So work your way across, up, across, and down. Might bring up a little wind. Across. And down. Good. Alright. So standing with your feet shoulder distance. Soften the knees, slight bend in the knees, and now we're just going to shake the tree. So bring your attention down into your feet. So you're starting to open the joints and the feet and the ankles. And moving up from the ankles to the knees. Soft bounce. Weight in the feet. Opening the knees, right, moving up towards the hip socket. Right into the hip socket. I'm going to start to move up the sacrum. As Taoists call it counting your blessings, so looking to count up the spine, so up the 5 lumbar, L5, up to L1. And then moving up the thoracic spine from T12. Bottom of the ribs, all the way up between the shoulder blades. So then the arms start to come involved. Right up to the cervical spine. C7, largest of the cervical vertebrae. Up to C1, right up into the skull. And then back down to the shoulder blades, to the elbows, and then to the wrists and fingers. If you want to bring a little freedom of movement into it, it's like the arms be loose, you can move from the hip and the spine and the shoulders, shake it out. Early morning dancing, huh? Alright, so bring that to a slow stop. Just get a feeling for what's moving. So shaking the tree, tapping against the chi moving, blood moving. The chi moves, the blood moves. The blood's moving, well, we're still moving. Alright, so then we'll go through the joints. So starting right foot back on the top, rolling out. And rolling in. And side, press the top of the foot down first, leg straight behind you, then rolling out. And rolling in. Feet shoulder distance, head forwards to the right and around. Focus on the crown of the head. Keep the shoulders passive. Feet relaxed and heavy on the floor. Pause in the middle and change direction. Pause in the middle and we do the Crane neck, so chin forward, back and in, forward, back and in. So forward, kind of up and in, I should say, forward, up and in. The other way, forward, down and in. Turtleneck. Pause. Now, keep the shoulders facing forwards. Turn your head to the left. Use your eyes. Take your eyes as far left and down as you can. Back and down. Lengthen the base of the skull up as the gaze looks back and down. Then take the eyes only. Don't move your head. Eyes up. Feel a pull on the base of the skull. Look up, all the way up into the North Star. And relax your eyes, bring your head to center, move across to the other side. Keep the shoulders facing forward, look back and down. Base of the skull lengthening up. Then eyes only, take them up. Base of the skull lengthening up as well. Feel that pull on the right side of the back of the skull. They call the wind palace. And then slowly releasing to the center. Now lifting from the collarbones, up, back and down. Head back to center, working the shoulders. Other way, forward and down. One more. Then as you inhale, lift. Drop as you exhale. So you can ha as you exhale, inhale. Inhale. So it's an exhale through the mouth. One more. Palms together, interlace, rolling on the wrist. Changing direction. And release. Now, we're going to change the interlace. So take the back of the wrist together, interlace the fingers. And heel of the hand is together, rolling on the wrist again. So fingers interlaced from the back. Some of you are in total darkness, so I hope you can see what's going on. Then change direction. And then relax. So if you're not sure on that one, all I did was take the back of the wrist together, interlaced. Yeah, so instead of this way, back of the wrist, interlace, and then together, and then roll. Yeah, simple enough. All right, now we're going to turn from the waist to the right, to the left. Front hand, tap the very top of the chest. Back hand, back of the hip. Little tap. Use your head and your eyes, look back over the shoulder. Try to turn mainly from your waist, secondarily from your hip. Around. And release. Hand on the back of the hip, big circle with the hip and the waist. Good You're drawing a big circle around your feet with your tailbone. Changing direction. Try to keep your feet relaxing on the floor. Gazing straight ahead. Then relax the arms, bend the knees. Slight bend, feet relax, and then small circle of the tailbone, sacrum. Drawing a circle between your feet. So the first one was around the feet. Now it's between the feet. Changing direction. Pause. Now you're going to pump the sacrum forward and grip the pelvic floor and then relax it. And then lift it and grip it and then relax it. So the sacrum comes forward and in, grip the pelvic floor anus and then relax it. This is a sacral pump, pumping the energy up the spine, cerebral fluid, nerve impulse. Particularly if you sit a lot all day, good thing to do regularly. Pump it and relax. So what I'm not doing is I'm not lifting the tail in the other direction. I'm just pumping forward and then I relax. Pumping forward and then I relax. Couple more. And then relax. Feet together, knees bent. Circling the knees to the right. Keep going to the right. And change direction to the left. Try to move from the back of the knee deeply, taking weight on the shin and the ankle. Then we're going to go forward and out and back. So the knees circling away from each other. And we're going to go the other way, out and in and back. Towards each other. Good. And separate the feet, holding your thumb and your first finger on the kneecap. And you want to pull your kneecaps forward. So the knees are one of the stiffest, if not the stiffest joint. So usually need a little extra attention. Get the blood, fluids flowing into the knees and through the knees. Good, then go to one side and just rub. Tap. Other side, rub. Tap. Then we're going to come down into the calf. So we tapped it earlier, but it's good one to do more than once. So just to have one foot forward of the other, with your loose fist, bang, bang, bang. Right into the belly of your calf. Right into the belly. They call it, they always call it the small heart because it pumps the blood back up the leg. Of course, you have to be moving for it to work. Now, change legs. Tap, tap, tap. And swing. So, we do the spinal breathing. So thumb in the fist, elbows back, tailbone lifts, gaze 45 degrees. Don't throw your head back, just look 45 degrees up. Elbows back, they can bounce a little bit as you feel that T5 moving in. Inhaling. Then I step in, waist back, kidneys back, sacrum forward, elbows forward. Stepping out. Inhale, lift the tail, elbows back, gazing forward. Exhale, stepping in. Inhale, stepping out. Exhale, stepping in. Try to isolate tailbone, T5 between the shoulder blades. And then moving away from each other as you step in. Shortening towards each other as the tailbone lifts, T5 moves in. Moving away from each other, T5 moves back, tailbone moves down and in. Stepping out again. Exhale, stepping in. You can always alternate the steps, so step out the other side. Step in from that side. Step out the other side. Step in from that side. Step out the other side. Step in. One more. Coming up. Alright, so now we do swimming with the dragon. So feet, I'm doing it from the side so it's easier to see. So feet shoulder distance apart. Slight bend in the knee. Make a fist at the waist. You inhale. As you turn the fist and punch forward, take the hips back, exhale. Empty, turn the wrist. Inhale, drive the hip forward. Movement up the spine, the head can start to move back. Exhale, drive the hips back. Turn the wrist down. Wrist up, empty. Inhale. Exhale, hip back. Turn the wrist empty. Inhale. Exhale. Just take the head far back as you feel comfortable. You can just look straight ahead, but you got to make sure you get movement between the shoulder blades. Hips forward, spine in, then maybe head back. Inhale to come up. Exhale to go forward. Couple more. Keep going. I'm going to have a look at you. Drive from the hip to come up. Drive from the hip back to go down. Good. Next time you come up, turn the wrist. Inhale, stand up. And then just exhale, hands down. Just beware of the movements in the spine. So those two are quite important for getting access to the spine, because of course most of the activities, whether it be Qigong or yoga even, is about freeing the spine from the limbs. Shoulders, the hips tend to obstruct the movement of energy through the spine. It's a good one to do on a daily basis, both of those two. Okay, now, coming with your heels together, big toes turning out like Charlie Chaplin. Yeah, feet turned out. So we'll do the first, this is the first stance. Ladies, put the left hand first, gents the right, below your navel. And just take a moment now to press down from the top of your shin into your heels and lengthen up through the base of the skull. Hopefully your tongue is still in position. You take a breath in, and slowly start to bend the knees, take the weight down. Now this is where you have to find the work in the shin again. So you got to work the top of the shin back and the heel down, but the knee bends. If you're not sure how to do it, then you come back to the leg straight and you feel, okay, what does my shin feel like as I press it towards the heel? Back is not so hard to find, but down is also more challenging. So back and down, and then as you bend the knee and sink to the feet, there's a similar action. Top of the shin slightly back, heels pressing down. So the weight is not in the knee, it's in the shin, the ankle, the foot. Try not to stick the tailbone forward. The tailbone just hangs freely towards the center or the inside of the heels. Keep the base of the skull lengthening up. Tail sinking down. Smooth, even breaths. Few more breaths. Keep working the shin to the heel. Try not to grip the thigh muscles. This one's called Dandla Pada, or force of the feet. A couple of variations of this. And the hands lift as you inhale. And as they press down, the legs straighten. Good. Stepping the feet out. Now you're going to go shoulder distance, feet straight, so parallel now. Palms face forward. Sweep the arms out as you inhale. Palms meet. Hold the breath from eye level. Exhale. Empty. Forward. Inhale. Holding. Bend. Then exhale slowly. Press down like a pillow of air pressing downwards. Empty. One more like that. Then bend your knees, bend your elbows, and you hold ball between your hands. So it's a small ball, like a grapefruit size between your hands. Elbows are wide. Sinking into the feet. Tail dropping, base of the skull lengthening up. Firming top of the shin slightly back into the heel. There's also a feeling of screwing the knee slightly out and down, so the knee doesn't buckle in like this, yeah? So feel like you're screwing your knee out and down. It's the tendons of the knee that's screwed down, so you feel really grounded in your feet. Firm in the shin. Notice if your top feels like it's leaning forward. You've got to have your collarbones right over your sit bones. And we're going to shift the weight. So you take a breath in. As you exhale, shift to the right. A little bit of shift. And the weight goes down into the foot. Come back to the center as you inhale. Exhale to the left, sink down into the foot. Inhale, center. Exhale to the right. Try not to stick the hip out or lean from the top. You have to move from the center. Inhale to the center. So move from the space between your hands. Exhale to the left. Inhale to the center. Exhale to the right. Feel the knee bend straight ahead, weight down in the foot. Inhale to center. Exhale to the left. Inhale to center. Exhale to the right. Keep going. Inhale, center, exhale, change. You start to get a feeling that the feet are heavier and heavier, even like they're bound in concrete on the floor. And this pulls any excess energy from the head down into the feet, grounding any excess heat in the head, excess thought patterns, anxiousness, busyness. It's really important at the moment, times of uncertainty, to work with grounded activities. Keep you grounded in your legs, centered in your spine. Good. One more each side. Now, just come back to center. And you can just straighten your legs and relax for a moment. I'm going to show you the next part. So there's 3 elements to it. We'll just probably get through 1 or 2 today. So I'm just keeping the same stance. I've just let my arms come loose. And then I'm going to shift to one side. Shift to the other side. And then I'm going to bring in my arms. So I'm just going to let them swing. And they tap the hip. Side of the hip, back of the hip. So as I'm swinging, the arms are like using centrifugal force. I'm not lifting from my shoulders, I'm just letting them swing. Shoulders are relaxed. And as I shift, whatever side I shift to, I turn my waist to. So if I shift to the right, I turn my waist to the right. Shift to the left, turn my waist to the left. So you can have a go if you're ready. You gotta make sure you shift first, take the weight down, then turn towards that direction. Okay, some of you are turning before you shifted. So shift first, then turn. Shift, then turn. That's better. Now I like to keep the gaze straight ahead. And it's like you're turning your waist back away from your gaze. As you shift, turn back. Gaze ahead. It's called the first swing. It works the lower dantian, the organs in the pelvis, reproductive organs, the bladder, the lower duodenum, small intestine. So they say the build-up of, in the Indian tradition, ama, or toxicity, starts in the lower pelvic region from a lack of movement, lack of ability to eliminate. So this keeps that lower part of the pelvic region working. So as you're shifting, you want to feel like you're sinking from the groin to the inside of the foot. From the very top of the inside groin to the foot, sinking as you shift and sink. Couple more rounds. Alright, then relax for a second. So I'm going to address a couple of things that I'm seeing because some of you you're familiar with this one a lot, yeah? So what happens is you start bringing that into the same thing, but it's not the same thing, because this one works primarily up here. Yeah? The first swing, as it's called, works primarily down here, right? So if you're busy up here, you're missing out down here. You with me? So when you shift, make the shift the first very important thing. The shift and the sink. And then the waist turning, because most of you are familiar with turning the same way your head goes. This time you're shifting and then turning towards the knee, the shift, as opposed to this way. This might feel like, oh, hang on, feels weird, I'm going this way. But when you do this, what happens if you focus too much on the upper body is the knees start buckling. You see how I'm actually torquing my spine now. Yeah? Where if I keep the attention just more on the shift, and then a little turn of the waist, that's why I say keep your head forward. It'll stop you from making it more about this. Yeah? Because what you're trying to do is shift and turn. As you turn your waist, you're sinking from the groin. And it's that torque between this coming this way and this dropping this way that puts the pressure on these organs in the lower region here. Okay, so just keep that in mind, because some of you are getting busy at the top. Alright, so have a look at the second one. Have a look at the second. So the first one, you shift and turn towards the shift. So if I'm going to the right, I turn to the right. The second one, I shift and then I turn the foot forward. I shift and I turn the foot forward. So I shift, turn, so I'm turning on the ball of my foot, you can see that. I'm turning the heel forward, weights in this leg. Yeah, just do this part with me. And then I turn, shift, turn on the ball of the foot, turn the heel out, shift the weight, turn on the ball of the foot, turn on the ball of the foot, shift the weight. Make sure the weight's in the leg, the knee is pointing straight ahead, don't let it buckle in. Straight ahead, turn on the ball of the foot. Heel out, shift, turn on the ball. Heel out, shift, turn on the ball. So this part's important, because if you get the knees wrong, you're going to have problems with your knees. Turn and shift. If you don't already, turn out, shift, turn forward. Good. Now when you shift, the arms come in, you look back. So then the arms, again, they're loose. There's a centrifugal force of the arms turning, the waist, and the head back. So where the first one you felt you were turning in the direction that you were shifting, this one you turn away from the direction that you shifted. The arms, so you're tapping the liver on the right side, the spleen, stomach on the left. So have a look at you. Keep going. There's that. Okay. So also try to be looser with your arms. Looser. Let them relax. It's the force, that's it. The more the arms can swing. So this is called the second swing. You have to feel like you're swinging. The arms are swinging, the weight is swinging. Few more rounds. Then come back and relax for a moment. Just let the arms be loose. So the first one works the lower Tantien, below the navel, and the organs associated with this region. The second one works the middle Tantien. So you've got your liver, gallbladder on the right, spleen, stomach, pancreas on the left, small intestine, large intestine, even the kidneys in the back. So the second one, very important as well. Now, just a little bit of technique. When you get all busy with the swinging, you can forget what's going on down below. You just have to make sure when you shift, that knee moves straight ahead, that it doesn't pull in like this. It has to go over the foot. So that when you turn the foot out, I shift my weight and I turn. So it's good to start slow. So you've got your technique correct. You keep the structure right. And then as you bring the arms, you can bring them in slow. Make sure you don't lose your legs, your base. And then you can bring in a little bit of rhythm too. Yeah, but don't be in a rush to go fast, because it's not about speed. Rhythm is good, but not at the sacrifice of the structure. If you get the structure wrong, and you come back to me next week and go, Dave, my knee hurts. It's because you didn't you're not paying attention to your base. Yeah? There's no problem with shifting, there's no problem with going down. The problem is if the knee starts to pull in. Yeah, the knee has to stay tracking over the center of the foot. Okay? Any questions on these last two? Good time to ask. No? They're called the first and the second swing.
Okay.
That's it. They come from the three swings. There's one more, we'll do that next time maybe. You gotta get these two first. So first and second swing. Okay? No more questions? Alright, so try to work that at least before I see you again on Thursday. And we'll move on to a couple things we did before. So starting with the feet shoulder distance apart. Slight bend in the knee. That feeling of screwing the knee towards the foot. So it's the tendon that screws slightly out and down. Then the palms press towards the floor. We do lifting the sky. So fingers face each other. Press from elbow to wrist. Follow your hands up, inhaling. Then as we exhale, it's a ha sound out through the mouth. Press down, look down. Inhale.